Hi, happy Women's History Month. My name is Liz Scheid. I'm an instructor of English here at Fresno City College, and I'm excited to share two poems with you, two poems from one of my favorite poets and people, local and national treasure, Connie Hales, and they're both from her collection, To Make It Right. The first poem that I'll be reading is titled Failed Blessing. For my daughter, waiting for the birth of her child. I want to give you an oak tree grown from the perfect acorn we found where it had fallen on the poet's grave in your 8th month, or a scrap of embroidery done by the young hand of your great-grandmother. My house is scattered with starts, the sprouting acorn in one pot, a rose cutting from my childhood home in another, a half-crocheted lavender blanket, stacks of quilt squares cut from remnants of your well-worn clothes, a box of old photos, a letter, a poem, but none of this feels right. How can I help bring this child from your body into the world of air and time? Here in this dark kitchen, Mars looming close and cold at the window, I'm as helpless as I ever have been. And I think of nights when you were small and sick, your damp hair coiling at the soft nape of your neck, your breathing as raspy and unreliable as the dark clock on the table, and I believed I could save you if I held you close and long enough. I want to take back the pain you felt then, the fear and nightmares and all the other wounds and losses I've been able to do nothing to prevent or mend. I want to paint them pale and thin into the background, those accidental gifts of grief I bestowed with your birth. I want you to wrap them up like laundry and send them back to me in brown paper, and I will cut the strings and open the bundle slowly, unfolding each injury, each slight, each death, each illness, each unresolved dread, and I will wear them next to my old skin, rough, unwashed, undone. And the next poem is titled Medea, after a sketch by Peter Paul Rubens. After all the silent waiting, she streaks by so fast that her body makes a crescent, head thrown back, hair flying, clothes trailing, mouth warped into a long howl, a child's limp body tucked under her arm like a package. She strides across the world until she becomes nothing but a single bare arm, muscular and resolute as the irresistible arm of God, pulling the older boy along by his wrist as any mother might drag a resistant child from the playground at dinner time. Finally, near the edge, she looks at us, exhausted but not slowing, both spent children now firmly in her grip, the smallest a loose bundle of rags held close to her waist, the other dangling heavily from her hand on the other side. She will never let them go. How does hopelessness gather such force? If you didn't know the story, you might think this is hope, that she is rescuing these children from disaster, escaping a burning house or an earthquake, a bad husband or a war. You might believe help is on the way. You might imagine she has someplace to go. And you can find other poetry collections at FCC's library.